Welcome back to another episode of Net Talk. We're talking net. I'm Alex. That's Mitch.
I'm Mitch. Oh, what was that sentence? I'm talking net. Is that what you said?
Yeah, just whatever comes out at the start of the ep.
We're both. Brains aren't working today.
Lots of planning.
Lots of planning.
Also lots of, for me, catching up on uni work that I've put back because...
You had a little...
Awful.
Oh, we can talk about that now or later?
No, after your slaying shame, how's your week been without me over the weekend, you know?
It's boring. It was really boring. So Slay can be in the coffee machine saga. We're slowly figuring it out.
You had a Macca's coffee this morning.
Yeah, because I ran out of milk though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a genuine reason.
Yes.
And I slept in. So Kate took the car to the station and I was like, oh, I can't go get milk. And I was like, oh, thanks, Uber Eats. Anyways.
Uber Eats from the Macca's.
Yeah, I did.
Around the corner.
I definitely could walk.
Around the corner.
Yeah, I definitely could have walked.
Oh, buddy.
Anyway, so my sleigh is that we bought even though I feel like we have one, but Kate was like, no, we need like a coffee one. And I was like, okay. So we bought like a coffee-centric scales. So like does like
fancy.
the grams of like the grounds. Are you going to get your 18 grams?
You got to weigh your coffee in, weigh your coffee out?
I don't bother with the weighing it in. I'm too lazy. So we are one step closer to nailing our espresso machine. And the shame can be... I actually don't know. I've had a great week, to be honest.
Everyone leave a hate comment. Let's take him down a peg.
Actually, you know what? my shame could be you not training last night.
Whoa.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because you went to an Oz camp doesn't mean you don't come to training.
Because that's Alex's slaying shame. And also takes us into what's going on in the national and local scene.
We're going to blend it all together.
Because we can see it's just good. There's stuff going on. All right.
True.
Got to go to an Oz camp. I can just, it was like a trial for volleyball World Uni Games. Like the Australian team, sort of. There was a couple of people there expressing interest to try and just like get scouted.
Yourself included?
Slay, I'm an athlete.
With a broken
I
calf.
was there.
And, okay. You were there? Fair enough.
Yeah. Load managed a little bit across the days, you know. Got told by the physio there, probably don't jump today. And I was like, this is the gameplay day. Whoops.
Oopsie.
Okay.
Love that that's your slay. You're like,
The shame is I'm a failed athlete.
Has been.
The shame is I'm a has-been, you know. Not quite there anymore, you know.
It's not quite true.
It's good. It was actually really good. The camp, I will just say, one of the best run camps I've actually been to. Coaching was really good. The focus was really good for sort of a mixed age group, like targeting under 25 primarily.
I can't believe you're still under 25. You baby.
Youthful.
With your injuries? You got the old man calf injury over here.
That's what I told the coach. Yeah, I got a calf injury. Oh, that's the old man injury. And I was like, no, the coach can't say that.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, because it is.
Absolutely it is.
It was a really well-run camp and sort of, I guess it is trying to reach out and get their little fingers onto more athletes over their path because like as someone that was involved in a lot of camps and a lot of stuff as a junior, haven't really...
You haven't experienced it for a while.
For a little while, which is like there's a few people at this camp that felt similarly and sort of probably a few people that were only sort of starting getting seen recently.
So that's an interesting point you bring up because like, do you reckon the pathway has gotten better? Or if not the pathway,
more
maybe but also like now that you've had junior camps when you were a junior and now you've had an Oz camp when you're a senior. So it's like, was there a difference? Or is it just that feeling of like, we are all better quality, so it is better quality?
Yeah, but it's
you know
also,
I
think it is like providing more opportunity to talk to people that are now more realistically, other people, not myself, more realistically thinking about playing overseas somewhere.
Yeah.
Going to college.
Yeah.
Like it is more of an option for more people. I think there was stats about how many Australians are overseas at the moment and it's getting up there. I think it was like 40 plus
That's pretty good.
overseas and maybe it was 30 at college.
I could think of 10.
Maybe, yeah, I think that was roughly the number.
Yeah. That's pretty good then.
But then it was a good sort of focus on sort of cracking bad habits that have creeped into my own game over the last little while, you know, and getting more prepared for a faster, more international game because there is a bit of a difference between everyone's local league and what you do at VV you get away with.
Yeah.
Like whatever everyone's doing in New South Wales and WA, all coming together and being like, oh, wait, when you actually bring people together that are serious and are trialing, so you bring a different level of intensity, the other stuff doesn't fly.
Yeah.
But it was really well coached and sort of cracked a few different things that like everyone knows, whatnot, move better, be more agile.
So you're going to come back and
things.
actually play defense, or like what's the go there?
Pass hitter now, mate. Pass hitting season.
Ooh,
actually, everyone can leave some hate comments for me if you're at that camp and you're listening now. Leave a hate comment. But while there's no hate comments there, I can toot my own horn and say I actually passed pretty well.
Fair enough.
Did okay. I hit really well for the 2 sets I was actually able to play.
Can't wait for us to get to the grand final this year, and you'll have no
Pass
left
hitting
side.
season.
No left side experience of them. But the grand final is the
I've
time.
got it.
The last time you played bar sitter was the 2022 grand final.
Yeah. It was in my highlight reel.
Was it actually?
Yeah, there was a couple in there.
That's really funny.
It's so easy.
Sure. Neither of us are left sides
Specifically,
anymore.
everyone agrees though, mate, why is topspin serving the meta? It's so much easier to pass the topspin serve.
Yeah, when you're topspin serving at 60 k's an hour like you are.
Okay, there's a couple of people that serve faster than that.
Like 75.
Yeah, I didn't topspin. I've standing floated.
Because it's actually faster than your topspin. That's why.
Oh, the standing float's deadly. We did like a backcourt 3-on-3 as well. You ask him, I'm tooting my own horn here. No one can give me a hate comment on this. Mate, the amount of kills I hit standing, I'm a standing attacker. I shouldn't jump.
Yeah, no comment on that one.
But it's good to see fingers reaching out. That's sort of like they give a little insight into the Australian calendar for the next year for the men's side.
Looking promising.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent there as well, coming back from overseas and wherever.
Speaking of Australian talent, though, the Polish league is not done.
It's not done
we
yet.
We thought it was going to be done, but it's not done.
I felt it. I texted you. I said, it's over. I think I said that after game one.
Game two. Game two, because they got flogged game 2.
Yeah.
And Groza was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And you spoke of Australian talent that is currently rotting in a cupboard.
Yeah.
He's not playing.
Rotting in a cupboard.
He's been parked in the garage, and Luke Perry, he's not touching the court this series.
For those who don't know, Zaviochi and Lublin, they're in game 3 of what will maybe be 5, because Lublin have 2 games under their belt. This was the game they needed to win the whole thing. Zaviochi came to play. I didn't watch this.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. No, just saw some highlights of the finish.
And we've got the only highlights I've seen of this entire match have been one person. And I've been saying this to a few people now, is that so the fact that Zaviochi can go out and get a medical transfer and go and get arguably one of the best opposites in the world, but them also not be Polish and have the same issue they've had all season. Well, not all season. The same issue they had when their main
when they had a Polish player be injured.
Is now you don't get to use who is probably the statistically best libero or second best libero in the league of Luke Perry. But you did get the best opposite and he was really good this game.
Yeah,
that's all I've seen.
He was amazing, and to slot into a team
that you haven't played with.
Two games under your belt, and then instantly be their highest usage player.
What did he get, like 30 points?
31 attacks, 18 kills, 57% kill percentage.
In the second game you've played with a team in a final series for one of the top leagues.
It is funny because it has happened. A part of this that I did see and happened in the last game, the first game he played, is he does actually get blocked a lot, old Groza. In the other game, but in the other game, he blocked like his first 3 hits. He got blocked twice.
No, you fell asleep. He got set 6 more times, and he got blocked 5 out of those times.
Okay, yeah.
It was bad.
But like he opened it up with block. I'm pretty sure he opened this up with getting blocked, and then he got blocked 3 times across the game. But it's just like funny.
But you figured it out.
Yeah.
No go.
Yeah, really solid. And like that is a injury medical sub, which catches people a bit funky because it's like, oh, how'd they do that? But
like
you just got to make a replacement.
I was joking with one of our teammates the other night about this. All right, we're in our finals going into like Heidelberg, let's say, and you get injured. Can we go and grab Tom Heptonstall from WA? Like, can we do that?
Yeah.
Like, can we go and grab Will Mercer from SA? Like, can we, can we talk about these kind of exemptions, VV? Like,
let it happen.
I
think I'll be I'm injured definitely then. I'll be like, sorry, I'm injured again. I'm out.
My calf's
we've got Lorenzo Pope coming.
Yeah. Like
he probably wouldn't be eligible though because he's played Res 1. So that would count as he's played in the league.
Did he play Res 1?
I don't know. He played a KVA tournament, I believe.
Sorry, that's not a league.
Yeah,
but like that is how I'm thinking of this.
Yeah.
Like you legitimately went out and got a better opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still running into the international rule, but like, anyways, moving on to the Italian league.
That series is finished.
Yeah, and we covered the women's leagues for for
because they do across
Polish
the board
and Italy
finish
a bit earlier.
Yeah,
well,
that
I didn't
week
realize
earlier.
this, but when we covered the Polish women's league final, there's less teams. So that's why they were earlier because they finished their season a little bit earlier, and it just slipped under my radar.
Yeah, it just slips your mind. But Trentino won
3 games
3
to
to
1.
1.
Yeah. Lube figured it out for 1 game, dominated in 3, and then Trentino just sort of basically said no.
Yeah, although the last game was a 5-setter. It was a really close one. So they maybe did just get unlucky that they didn't get to push it. The series.
Yeah. Again, I didn't get to watch this. Saw some stat lines, some highlights, and it just seemed like Michieletto and the Trentino guys are just so good.
Yeah.
You've got here Canigliano won, but we did cover that the other week. But what Canigliano also won was Champions League.
Yeah, CEV.
CEV.
Also in a walloping.
They played Scandici and smoked them. Didn't really stand a chance from the looks of it. I think sets 1 and half of set 2. And yeah, they stormed through Milano again in the semi-final. Milano got a set. I think they got the first or second set. And then Vakuf Bank got smoked by Scandici, which I was a little bit disappointed about. I thought Vakuf Bank would have done really well. But I think I heard the commentator say that Kira Van Rijk was really sick.
Yeah.
And when you're basically second best or best player, like her and Marina Markova are the 2 top players.
Yeah.
If you get one of them out, I think they struggle quite a bit. And it seems like they
Sorry,
did.
was that for the bronze medal match as well? Or are you still talking about the semi?
Still about the semi, but the bronze medal match.
They did also lose the bronze medal.
They did, but that was the match where I heard about that Kira Van Rijk was still recovering from illness and that's why she was playing, but she wasn't very good. She was getting subbed out quite a bit, and I think she didn't look very good. And then the commentator mentioned like, oh, she's being subbed out because she's still struggling with illness. So that's a bit of a shame to hear.
Yeah.
SV League?
SV League. Also surprisingly one-sided. Maybe
the first game was epic though.
Yeah.
First game was epic.
Yeah. Although I think it is the pick that most people had. Suntory beating JTech Stings in the 2-0.
I can see if JTech gets all their wing hitters firing at the same time, because I feel like they never go at the same time. It's always TJ's on, the other 2 are off, or Mia Oro's on, the other 2's off. Like that's how I felt about watching them.
Because it was a 5-setter the first match. Second match was a 3-0. Really close first set. And I watched the first set completely, and then the second set was a walloping.
Just ran away with it.
And I think I just got busy, stepped away. So I didn't watch the end of this game, the conclusion, but that second set was just so one-sided.
Yeah.
Which is just how sometimes it goes. I couldn't imagine playing like on the Saturday and then the Monday just like this. That's got to be so grueling on the body.
Yeah.
And the last international league we can touch on for another Australian collecting another medal in his cupboard. Berlin Recycling wins the Bundesliga, the German top division. And Nehemiah Mote over there is the best.
Yeah. The greatest.
You know?
They've won, I don't know how many championships, but a lot.
Too many.
A lot. Moving to everyone's favourite topic though, State League.
Ooh.
What happened on round 5? We'll go with the men.
We can go with the men. I was absent.
You were absent.
And the first game on the tally was a game to watch. A game for the ages.
Depends who you are.
Don't know.
This was our match to watch last week because realistically it's second versus third from last year. We're missing you but we had our entire lineup back. It's the first week we've all been together except for you. So we still haven't had a week where our whole team has been present.
Yeah.
But we had, we played, honestly, we played 3 sets of really good volleyball. We all sort of sat there and we were surprised at how well, not necessarily how well, because we always play pretty well, but we were very, very clean despite the fact we were missing our main setter for 5 weeks. We were missing our main left side for 5 weeks. 5-6 weeks of ankle. We were missing our middle for 2 weeks. We had our other libero out for 2 weeks. I haven't trained with the boys for 3 weeks.
It was good to see from the clips I saw. Stuff fired, it worked, and we finished points quicker than we maybe even normally ever do, because we are normally a long point team that doesn't mind rotating through a couple different hitters in the same rally. It helped me rub a little salt in the wound of a Yarra player that was away at this camp with us too, their libero. Because I asked him what the result was and he said he didn't know. And I was like, oh, okay. So I messaged my team. I didn't get a response straight away because you guys went to Judy.
Judy and watched the girls.
Yeah. So then I was like, oh, do you have an idea? And he messaged his team and got
the bad news.
And then I had to look at his face when he got texted 3-zip. We got torn up. And then I was like, oh, sorry.
But in saying that, to Yarra's credit, they didn't really have their full lineup. Like their main player, he's coming back from injury. I believe that was his first game. Didn't get a chance to ask him, but from the whispers I got told that was his first game back. They were missing their libero, who was with you. So they had their backup. Well, they don't have a backup libero, but they had one of their pass hitters. They still played really well though. But I think the word I would use to describe this game, despite the fact that we hadn't trained together as a team, like our main starters, and even myself, I came on for a set in the last set as right side, is it just felt familiar. Like, not that it hasn't felt familiar, but it was like, oh, we're all back now. Like we're all back here. Like we've got our full roster. Like, you weren't there, but we do have a roster of 15 this year. So it was like, all right, we've got everyone. It felt familiar. It felt comfortable. And that was sort of how it felt.
And that is maybe just like a fraction out of reach for Yarra, who are also a very
similar team. Yeah.
And we've played against them so long. And that first set was only a 2-point difference.
And we were actually 24. We were down.
Yeah. If that gets flipped, it does change the whole momentum, because the clips I saw, they were really, really effective.
They were playing well. They were playing well. As at the start, we played clean, and we were all not surprised by it, but we were just like, oh, this is comfortable.
Yeah.
This feels like what we're sort of used to, as opposed to the previous games where it was like maybe a bit of panic, a bit of unfamiliarity, these kind of things.
The next game, probably also still comfortable for them. Sorry to their opponent. I think they've been comfortable all season.
Yeah.
Heidelberg beating VFM 3-zip.
I'm just going to look at the score for this. Because it was next to us.
Yeah, at the same time.
He looked very comfortable. 25-15, 25-21, 25-21. Unfortunately, as expected. This is just how it is.
We can clip that at the end of the season and throw in the amount of times we've just said Heidelberg is just rolling. They are also comfortable. They have their 5 attackers that are just all fluid around each other this year, maybe more than ever.
Yeah, this year they've got one thing that gives them a serious advantage compared to usual, and they've got depth.
Yeah.
Right? Like, depth used to be our advantage, Monash's advantage, and Yarra's advantage, where it was like, if Heidelberg had to reach into their bench, which they rarely ever did, you were looking good. But now if they reach into their bench, it's like, oh, yikes. Like, you know what I mean? But moving on, the next game, Latrobe Mazenod. Again, I wasn't at Mazenod, and I didn't hear much about this game, but Mazenod took it to Latrobe and they 4-1. So I think the comment was, which of these teams could get some confidence in their season and get an extra win under their belt? So Mazenod took it, and this game from the scoreline looks really competitive. Except for that 4 set, 25-15.
I mean, we've seen firsthand both teams firing over the last 2 rounds.
When they want to play, they can play. Yeah.
They are both so offensively strong.
The next game on the list was Monash v Dandenong. Monash having a couple players away because there was one with you. There was another out with injury. I can't think of anyone else. So two of their
one
main
was preparing
players
to go away, so
yeah,
had a bit of a rest.
Monash did usual Monash things, put on a clinic, and doesn't look like from the scoreline that Dandenong really stand a chance. It was 25-17, 25-14, 25-17.
Yeah.
Monash doing what they do best, playing consistent, playing discipline. Who was next on that list?
And then the last game of the day.
The
Eastside Maroondah in a 5-setter. I'm going to open Eastside's record right now.
I'm pretty sure it's all 5-setters.
If you include their duties, it's also all 5-setters. No. Actually, that's not even a joke. Yes.
Eastside really just getting their money's worth.
They've had one game that hasn't been a 5-setter, and it was when they lost to Yarra 3-1. Everything else on their fixture is a 5-setter, including the 3 duties that they've done. Just a little fun fact. What? No. I would want to
what
not.
Would you want to do?
I would want to not be on duty.
Yeah.
For a 3-2. Maybe you do.
After having played how many 5-setters. Also, this one truly going the distance. The last set, 15-17 to Eastside. These boys just love getting their money's worth. That's really what it sounds like.
And they've upset a couple teams, like when they beat Phantoms the other week. So they do know how to get swinging on their offense.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they don't let a ball die from what I've been watching.
Clearly. But the young Maroondah boys really giving it a crack. So good on them getting a few sets.
This develops your long game, the big moments. You never want to lose by 2 points in a 5-setter, but it happens over your career.
It
happens a lot to us.
Yeah, it actually does though. I want to see who got the match point first.
Yeah.
You would assume 15-17, you would assume Eastside, but sometimes it happens that you get that 14-13 down and then you get
the
that
swap. Yeah. The little flip at the end.
Moving on to the women. Similar story with this Latrobe Mazenod, but Latrobe took it out. Good on them. I think this is their first win for the season. So good on them for getting it done. This one went even deeper in the 5th set. Do you want to have a guess at the score? Okay,
Don't even have a guess. I've got it open.
Oh, do you actually? Oh, I didn't know.
Everyone listening at home right now, yell out loud 2 numbers.
Just comment. Comment on the... anyway.
No, just driving by yourself to Dandenong, yell out 2 numbers to yourself. But it was 2018, which is...
truly remarkable in the 5th.
Yeah.
So that game would have been really, really entertaining. I would love to have been there to see that go. The next one, Heidelberg and Monash. I did get to see some footage of this, and it looked like Monash are just very highly skilled, very disciplined. They served really well. I think Heidelberg struggled on serve reception quite a bit. And Heidelberg, when they are in system, have a lot of firing options, but I think Monash didn't allow them to be in system that much. The set that they were in system the most was the set that Heidelberg ended up winning. But yeah, 3-1. And Monash's main player was out with an ab injury. So like that goes to show that Monash, as usual, being one of the bigger clubs, they've got depth. They've got a lot of depth.
Which is good to see because we were kind of thinking maybe
they
a
don't.
lot of that attack would be funneling through
that main player. But good for, I think, Monash to sort of solidify like, no, we don't actually need her to go and get the win. Next one, Dandenong and VFUM. This one was a bit spicy. This is the court next to us.
Yeah.
So VFUM unfortunately losing one of their main players to a knee injury that we heard about previous week when they played Heidelberg. Unfortunately, she will probably be out for the rest of the season. That knee injury was pretty bad, which is a bit of a shame. VFUM, nonetheless, were like, that is not going to stop us. So they took Dandenong 2-5. That 5th set, however, I think Dandenong really decided to
win.
Yeah, it was 15-5.
Flick that switch to
really like get the gears firing. But this game was close. Like sets 1 and 3, 26-28, and then 26-24. So this game really had it all. Let
us know the narratives from that game.
Yeah, because I was next to that court, but I was coaching, so I couldn't really look at it.
Couldn't just turn around, just go, phew.
I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm worrying about my girls. On the other court, on the other side, which was done really quickly, quicker, was VIP and Cobras. And this was actually like, again, 3-0 on the ladder, but VIP really, again, proving they can be really competitive because it was 25-19, 25-23, 25-21. And this looked really competitive. It looked like a really high quality game.
Yeah.
Cobras just being really disciplined and in business end. Because every time I did, because they were in front of the court that I was in, so I could see them without having to like look behind me at Dandenong VFUM. It looked like point for point for point for point. And then around 18, 19 points, Cobras would just go, this is ours. Which is probably speaks to their experience over VIPs. And then there was our game. Our game at the very end. I'm going to show a little bit of bias here. I'm going to pull out some stats just for fun.
But you can do it for your own one.
Well, I'm not studying everyone's game. Sorry. If you want that, you just
You do it for us.
do it for my game.
To us, it'll be an internship, unpaid labour.
Yeah. So this game really proving that Yara is probably, when they have all their cylinders firing, they are the team to beat.
Is that first cylinder that you're going to talk about serving?
Yes. They scored 20 aces. 20 aces, which is massive.
An absurd number.
Yeah, like it truly is. And annoyingly, we didn't serve receive that badly. We didn't serve receive that differently to the way they serve receive. So only 0.3 of a difference between how well they serve received and how well we serve received. I think what this highlights is they score incredibly well out of system, which truthfully is what I'm hoping to do with our team, and the direction that we're going as a team is not having to rely on really, really, really good reception, because what that tends to lead to is as soon as you come up against a really good serving team and you can't receive the ball well, you just have no options. So going towards being an out-of-system attacking team, Yarra didn't pass that well. They passed well, but not amazing, because we were trying to serve really, really good spots. We still got 10 aces. So really, if you're taking the score, they only got 10 aces more, which is still a lot of aces. But they, in a 4-set match, they killed the ball 43 times. And they passed under average. Under average being under 2. So they passed at 1.8. Whereas we passed at 1.5, which is not great. But the fact that they scored the ball 43 times in 4 sets is seriously impressive. And the other thing...
In 4 sets?
In 4 sets.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I want to highlight about Yarra, and again, like this could be same for other teams, but I just have the stats here and I just think it's impressive to highlight these things. 4 sets of volleyball, how many errors you reckon Yarra made? Hitting errors.
You've asked me, so that means it's low. 20.
6 hitting.
I was like, I'd give them 5 a set, each player gets their 1 hitting error.
So this is what I spoke to my girls at the training after the game, and I was like, you know what? We got beaten 4 sets against what is probably looking like one of the 2 top teams in the league right now, and we played really well. We passed atrociously. Fine. Okay. Probably they're the best serving team. We only made 17 errors, and I'm thinking like, that's like 5 errors-ish a set, give or take, and some bad sets. Then there was a bad set or 2. They made 6 errors in 4 sets of volleyball and scored 43 times on attack alone.
Yeah.
That is really, 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 really good.
Do you just have their kill efficiency as a team down? Because is that also...
No, because I don't... I only stat our attempts. I don't stat... So I only stat their...
Direct error.
Yeah. So and I get their kills.
Yeah. Because I wasn't there to watch in that depiction of that. Is it also, though, 43 kills, 6 errors, 20 just swing attacks? Were they smart with the ball when it was out of system and not the time to play and then beat you in transition?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And this is, again, the credit to Yarra. And I live with one of the Yarra players. I was talking to her. I was sort of saying, like, I joked that Yarra don't use their middles that much. It's the most I've ever seen them use their middles against us. And I was like, man, I should have.
That's how it goes. In spite. Anytime I've ever heard anyone say anything about another team, they just always do exactly that.
Yeah, I jokingly said to her, I was like, I shouldn't have said anything before the game. But no, so they seriously played so well. And as I said, annoyingly that we went down 3-1, but it was a high quality game. they reached into their bench after being 2 sets 0 up, and proud of my girls for going, let's use this opportunity to go out and win. We took that set, they put the 18 back on, and then we got rolled. But it was seriously a high quality game. That was a really good match. And I just thought I'd bring out the stats there just so people can hear about some like Yarra performing like that. Those are some stats you should seriously aim for because they're really impressive. But we'll go to the sponsor for today's episode right now. This episode is brought to you by Andor Financial.
Now, as some of you know, a good friend of ours, good friend of the show, and our Melbourne Uni Renegades captain, Michael Cirillo, has recently started his own mortgage broking business.
Not only this, but Mike and Andor Financial have committed to supporting and sponsoring Net Talk for the indefinite future.
If you didn't know, Mike has spent the last 10 years in the finance industry in both financial planning and mortgage broking roles, and is super passionate about empowering people to take control of their financial future.
So you, or if anyone you know is in need of a home loan or would like to review their current lending situation, reach out to Mike and Andor Financial.
You can find out more information in the footnotes or description down below.
Thank you again to Andor Financial for sponsoring Net Talk. And we're back.
Where'd we go? Disappeared, phased out of existence.
Yeah.
Now we're back.
I wish I could phase into my bed right now. I'm so tired. The Macca's coffee just staying there. You know?
No.
Yeah, it's
Now you're used to your
my espresso
artisan coffee, the Indonesian coffee beans.
Yeah, no. What you get? It's called Blend 10, and it's from our like coffee store in High Point. It's like the bean specialist.
If anyone knows about the coffee beans, I'm trying to remember the name of.
Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, round 6 is this weekend. We'll do the women's first. There's 2 double headers in this. I think it's to make up some matches and you know, to sort of get the table a little bit more even. Phantoms have the double header, and Renegades and Heidelberg have the other double header. They'll play themselves twice in the same day. So that I'm not like it just is what it is, right? Like not an issue with it. The thing that and this is where I want to highlight people's attention is volleyball in Australia doesn't really do this, and you and I are both advocates of this, is series-based finals. Yeah. So what I want to highlight to people's attention is that if you're there at Dandenong and you see Renegades and Heidelberg women play at 12:30 and then they'll play at 4:30, see if there's a different result. I can almost guarantee there will be. It may be the same team wins both times, but it will almost guaranteed be the same result. Like, it's so statistically unlikely that it's going to be the exact same result twice.
The process will be slightly different. People figure it out.
The rosters are different. Yeah. Like my team has a great deal of depth. Heidelberg have a much smaller roster. Like, they only have 10 players or 11 players, or we have like a full 15 roster. So I can actually use all full 15 for the day because I can change the score sheet a little bit. Anyway, so I just want to highlight everyone. I think that'll be interesting, but I'll get to that with the Phantoms Maroondah first.
Out in Bendigo.
In Bendigo. So if you're there, give this one a watch. This one will be interesting.
Phantoms Maroondah?
I think so.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so. I also still I want to see if Carly Hines is going to play or not, and just like hit 40 balls.
Yeah, just casually when she feels like it.
Yeah. So that is at 12 at Red Energy. Followed by then is us at 12:30 SVC. So that's the first Renegades versus Heidelberg. I'm excited for this one. We played them at Warrnambool and they smoked us. So essentially we're just figuring out like, all right, how much better have we gotten since then?
Yeah.
I think it's a great deal.
Happens. We all get smoked sometimes. And then it'll be especially seeing how you go in a second matchup on the same day.
Yes.
Against the same team.
Yes. We'll talk about that with the second one. The next game, also at 12:30 on the court next to us, is Yarra and Latrobe. Based on how well Yarra played last week, I am worried about Latrobe, but I hope they can take it. Credit to Latrobe, when we played them, what they did really, really well was serve really hard. They served harder than us. I think if they can do that to Yarra, they can slow them down. But again, Yarra being so good out of system, I am just unsure. I think Yarra's got this in the bag, provided they don't have anyone missing.
Always a possibility.
Always a possibility. This will be on the court next to us, 12:30.
2:30 out at Monash.
This
Monash
is the
versus Dandenong.
Yeah, this is the game of the week.
This is the game of the week.
This is a rematch of a round 1 matchup. So if I'm sitting here and saying that the top 2 teams are a flip between, the top 3 teams are undoubtedly Yarra, Monash, Dandenong. Not in that order necessarily, but those are your top 3 teams at the moment with track record and just how they look at the moment. So Monash and Dandenong, this is definitely the game of the week to go and watch. If you're around to Monash, definitely go and give this one a watch.
Round 1 went to 4 sets Monash's way. So you can maybe see if that's changed Dandenong with a couple more players since then and Monash missing.
Yep. And going back to that whole like series-based mentality, like I doubt this one is 4. This one could be 3. This one could be 5. I could see this one going for 5 for sure. Again, Monash 2:30. This one will be, I think this one will be really good. Next one, 2:30 at SVC, VFUM versus VIP. With VFUM having one of their main players out and having to reach into their bench and doing really well against Dandenong the week before, I guess it's just like role clarity for them and knowing that player is probably going to be out for the rest of the season. It's like, all right, what are we doing? How do we look for the next – and then figuring out against a younger, more inexperienced team, VIP is probably a good opportunity to solidify those roles. VIP just need to keep getting hungry and hold VFUM accountable if they drop the standard and go and take some steps like they've proven that they can go and do, and just keep building towards the team that they want to be. Is that the same? Yeah, it is. Maroondah and Combra is round 2.
Yeah, the back half, the second half of the back-to-back.
Yeah.
Back in Bendigo, 4 p.m. So you get that little bit of a break. 12 and then 4 is a tough window to get prepped to play in, I reckon.
Yeah.
Still, same issues as always with the back-to-back. It's like, you get your game goes 2 hours, you get maybe an hour for food and then an hour and you're playing again.
Yeah.
But Maroondah Phantoms running it back at 4.
Yes.
Then it's you on the second half.
We get it at the same thing. Yeah. So we're at 12:30 and 4:30. Same deal. Got the couple hour break at most, and then we'll see how either team respond. I think it's in like series because like we've played doubleheaders before against Phantoms, like having to go to them and play the doubleheader from memory and from just like experience in those situations. I think it's the biggest thing. It's harder to be the winning team in the second game. Like it's as in if you won the first game and you're going to that second game, I think you're in a much harder position than being the losing team in that second game. That's where you get that massive swing factor. That's why series volleyball is so exciting. If you're going to pick a game of those two to watch, if you're at SVC, I'd probably watch the second one. I feel like that one's always going to be more spicy. Again, if you're around at 4:30, if you're going home and you're eating dinner, it's probably a bit early for dinner. Yeah. Anyways.
First dinner. Then you have second dinner later.
What about second break? Anyways. On to the men.
On to the men. Also out in Bendigo at midday. So same little critique is that it's on at the exact same time as the women's game.
Yes.
I like it being staggered when it's out in Bendigo because then you get the teams being able to catch each other and support a little bit.
Especially because you're so isolated. You don't have the random crowd spectators supporting.
They're just there for the lower divisions because there's just a little less volleyball run out that way. But we've got Phantoms versus Cobras on the men's side at midday. That'll be really strong. Young versus young, but maybe slightly more experienced on that Phantoms team.
A couple of AVL players, a couple of experienced coaches on both sides, but the Phantoms team have been together for longer, so I feel like they've got the advantage here. I agree with you. Yeah.
And then also our match to watch is the same teams as the women's, right? Do we?
No, the women's is Monash and Dandenong. The men is Monash and Heidelberg.
Yeah, but also out at Monash.
Yeah.
All right. Is the big game to watch 100% on the men's side, Monash versus Heidelberg?
This is 1v4 or 1v3. I don't remember who came third or fourth last year, whether it was Yarra or Monash. One of those two teams.
We were talking about who actually won the bronze because it was the first year there was actually a bronze medal playoff. And they got to play at their actual start time while we had to wait till 8:30, but that's okay.
Yeah.
This will be the game to watch. Monash is firing. They may be, I think they'll all actually be there. I was trying to think about if someone's absent doing a camp.
They'll have everyone.
Yeah, maybe someone will be somewhere else playing volleyball somewhere else, maybe. Depends. I don't remember the calendar.
Yeah, who knows? We'll find out.
But Heidelberg will be there firing. So this will be, both teams will be pretty heated for this.
This will be spicy.
I think they'll be treating this as the must-win game of the year.
Yeah, well, this is a no, they haven't played us yet.
Monash did. Well, Wallop does.
Oh, it went to 5. Thank you very much. And you played terribly.
Happens.
I think this is a good match. This will be a rematch of a grand final that happened a couple of years back. And Monash will be looking to get
a bit stronger than what they looked like 2 years ago.
And they'll be looking for some revenge.
Critique them. 2 years ago, they were really a final swarm team, snuck into that final 2 years ago. They're now much more well-rounded.
Yeah. And again, so are Heidelberg. So this will be a good match. Again, if you are anywhere near Monash, I would make the trip there.
Yeah.
The next one is us. Renegades in Dandenong, SVC 12:30 same time. The only thing I have to say about this one is I'm hoping we can prove that we are as disciplined as Monash, getting it done, what we need to get done against a lower ranked team. And I applaud Dandenong for giving us any sort of pressure and upsetting. Yeah, go nuts.
I can leak it. I'm cleared to play. At most 3 sets. So let's make it not go any further than that.
Yeah.
And also pending how training goes.
Yeah, true. Wow. I'm not available to bail you out if you play bad.
Oh, we've got enough. Everyone else bails me out already, so they can do it again.
Because, I won't be playing. I'll be coaching.
Yeah.
Latrobe and Mazenod.
At 2:30, Dandenong.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Did they not play last week? Did we just read that out? I'm feeling deja vu. Am I lying?
They did play last week.
They're playing back-to-back. Interesting. Again,
I didn't catch that as a quirk of this schedule.
I was just like, I'm feeling deja vu right now. So I guess this is your series base. Like, Mazenod won last week on the men. So Latrobe, like, how much did you learn? Can you come back firing? That's the real question.
That is a funny little quirk.
Yeah.
It'll be the same things. I'll actually be able to catch this game, hopefully, watch a little bit of it.
It's after us on the same court.
Both teams can play fast, so we'll see who does it at a higher level for longer.
The next one, VFUM and Eastside. This is, I would bet so much money this is going 5 either way. Just because Eastside's
I've got to start pulling those. If it goes to 5, that's hilarious.
Can we get the betting app up and can we just bet that it will go to 5?
On 5,
is that a thing? Yeah, I'm not a betting guy, so I think this one will be actually interesting. Not that anyone is not going to be interesting, but the fact that Eastside can bring it when they want to, but they just love going to 5. And I think VFUM are a bit the same. Like VFUM have gone to 5 a number of times this season already. This will be interesting. And this one's after us on the same court.
Yeah.
So in my big break of coaching, I'll probably be watching this one and or the Latrobe. Oh, probably both.
And then the second half of the back-to-back in Bendigo, Maroondah versus Phantoms coming at it again at 4 o'clock. And then actually this is included in this round.
It is?
Because it's a double header then. This counts as a double header. It's in the same round.
For Monash and Eastside. Yeah.
But on Thursday at 7 o'clock at Dandenong is Eastside versus Monash.
Which will be good.
Yeah,
Eastside can take it to all the top teams. They can go to 5. They can go to the distance. Monash looking really strong though. So it's like, can Eastside weather the storm and sustain the sustained pressure against them and upset them? Or Monash is going to be too overpowering with the amount of depth and experience that they've got.
And then they do I'm unsure of the reasoning for this rescheduling.
Yeah, we don't know.
I think it's a rescheduling because I don't think I saw it happen earlier. They do both have a bye next week. So they're playing this match on Thursday and then they're not playing on Saturday. So I'll assume it was moved forward in the calendar.
Yeah.
Or it is just a funny quirk. I don't think there's any events going on.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so I was thinking in my head, I was like, if they have to play Thursday and then again Saturday, that you probably lose a training night and then you're probably playing 2 games. but they don't have a game.
But neither
on the
of them are
weekend.
playing.
So Thursday night out in Dandenong. Anyone there?
If you're there, go down, have a look. It's certainly a match to watch for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Get down there and have a look. We won't be. We'll be training.
No.
I might take the night off. I'll go have a look.
Can't say that on podcast. It's recorded.
No.
They can use it.
Yeah, that's all right. It's not going to matter. That concludes the round 6 matchups. Pretty excited. This round's a bit spicy. And I think the 2 match to watches are going to be really good. I love when you get to play a team again, knowing that the first time you played them, you maybe didn't do that well or you did do really well. So that Monash and Dandenong women's match, I think it's going to be really good.
I mean, it's interesting as well. It's interesting for that to be such an early replay of the same team. We're a third through the season. Round 6 will be your third marker because 18 rounds.
Yeah, you're true.
So you're coming up to a third through the season. It is thinking, where are you sitting? What needs to change over probably the next
It's interesting
6
though
weeks,
because neither Monash or Dandenong have played everyone once yet.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're playing each other twice this early, I guess you could look at it as an advantage because you've ticked off one less top team to play. So that result really dictates the work you do. I mean, it's the same. At the end of the day, win as many matches as you can.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of depends on who you are as a player because sometimes you like churning through the higher ranked teams towards the end of the season because it sort of gets you more into
the
mentally finals form.
Yeah.
Or it can be the flip side that you have a bit of an easier run towards the end of the year. You rest, you recover, you work on some funky stuff.
I think it depends on...
Like if you need to win 8 games in a row.
Like us that one year. That was actually 10 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny quirks of the schedule this week.
Yeah.
Good to see. Lots of volleyball to watch.
Absolutely. So much volleyball to watch. So yeah, definitely get down to Monash if you can get down to Monash. That is definitely the place to be this weekend. Yeah. Otherwise, you can catch us on all the social medias, all the podcasting sites.
just forgot the words.
Brain don't work today.
Doesn't work. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. All right. We will catch you all in round 6 and on the next episode.
See ya.
Bye.